Okay, it's saying we're live. Hit the countdown. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Taylor Talks. This is our September session. I am so excited. We have a very special guest on. The topic of this show is called The Ghana Experience Learning, Enhancing, and Education of the Motherland. It is such an impact of when I went over there. I am still processing everything that happened. Anybody and everybody should step foot on the motherland. There's no way that you go over there and come back the same. I don't care who you are and what you're doing, it will change your life in so many ways, right? And so, to our special guest, Neil, if you can just briefly introduce yourself and we'll kick off the show. Truly, thank you for being on today, you guys. He just had a really great thing happen to him today. So,
Definitely.
he kept his word,
Thank
which he
you
didn't
so
have
much.
to.
Thank you so much. All right. So I appreciate you for having me on. So my name is Nyama Kwe. I'm a Ghanaian by birth, born and raised in Ghana. I've lived in Ghana my whole life and I've traveled around to the African continent. And of course, I met my wife, who is African American in Ghana some years back. And we got together, we got married. And from there, we started a company called Certified Africa that I now do full time, with other little things on the side. So basically, that's a little bit about me. And I'm glad to share a lot of, some pieces of, my life in Ghana and then, of course, traveling in Africa. Yes.
You can still go, Neil. I don't know why.
Yes, yeah, I was saying I'm happy to share, some of my experiences with certified African and personally traveling in Ghana and then around the African continent with our people here today. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I talked a lot about it, and I know he'll be able to share a screen. I have some pictures as well in videos. But what exactly is Certified Africa, right? I should have brought my t-shirt so they'll see it. I'll post it. Tell us
I think I
about
have mine
Certified
here.
Africa. Oh, you
All
got it
right,
done? Okay.
yeah, I do have mine. So Certified Africa is a travel company that is focused on getting the African diaspora back to the motherland. Okay, like I said, my wife is African American, and of course, when I met my wife, she was with a lot of other Black people in Africa, and I was like, whoa. I mean, if we have a lot of Black people like this in America, how can we have just a few visiting down here? So what can we do to get more people to come down? So I remember her parents suggesting that, hey, we can start with friends and family and get some people down to see, have a great experience like they did when they came to Ghana. And we did just that. And from there, we're like, whoa, there's a lot more people that need to come and see the motherland. So we decided to take this further and bring every Black person living outside of the African continent back to the motherland. And that's how Certified Africa was built, to get more people, Black people, I should say, people of color, to move or visit the African continent from the African diaspora, which is in America, UK, Caribbean, and all over the place. So that's basically what Certified Africa is about. Now, we do relocation as well, aside the travel experience, the cultural travel experiences that we do. We also do relocation for people who want to move back to the motherland. And I'm happy to say that we've helped quite a bit of people to move back to Ghana as our base, since I'm from Ghana. So that's what Certified Africa does. And we've been doing this since 2018, I should say. 2018. Yes.
And so I didn't even know about the relocation. That's a great thing in the added addition,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Um, and so when you think about it, you're going back to the motherland. There are so many things to see. It's a land that is full of riches, right? Not just mineral resources, but people. But you see the residue of what our people had to go through and how they still persevered after everything that was done to us to come back stronger, right? And so
So,
just go.
yes, Sequana, when you come to Ghana per se, you have two sides that I should say. You have the past which is the history, okay, that you get to experience when you're in Ghana, not just Ghana, across Africa. And then you have, of course, the modern day today and all the changes that have happened, and the lifestyle that you find. So you have those two blend. And of course, the history comes with the culture of the people. Because don't forget, everywhere, just like America, the people always keep their culture no matter who comes in. So in Africa, in Ghana to be specific, you're going to find a lot of rich culture that is going to take you all the way back to how far we have come as a people, as a continent, and as Black people in this world, how far we have come. And then it brings you to today's modern day experiences that Africans are having. And I tell people, look, people have a certain impression about Africa, okay, that those what the media has portrayed about, you see lions, you see all these kinds of things. But Africa is a very beautiful place that is very diverse, that you can find any type of thing that you want to find on the African continent. And to be Ghana, to be specific, you can find very beautiful places, and of course you can find places where people also need support, just like anywhere in the world. So I feel like it's one of the greatest experiences that everybody has to experience, and sometimes it cannot be explained unless you feel it. Like once you touch down, you have been, there is something about it that could not have been explained to you, what that feeling is like. So yeah, I mean, I believe it's a great thing for everybody to experience in that respect.
Right. So for an individual who's thinking about coming over, right? Because when we got in touch with you, you take it in what people want to see, what they want to do. And even though we went to Ghana, what are some of the other places in Africa that you have individuals come visit?
So first of all, let me say Africa has about 55 countries. Like the USA can fit into Africa like three countries. So that's a huge place we are looking at. So there are a lot of options for people in different style of living, if you like. So when you go to the southern part of Africa, there's a different feel. When you come to the west, there's a lot of cultural feel. You have a lot of culture and history when you come to the west. When you go to the East Africa, then you have a lot of safaris. So for people who like safaris, we've had travelers come to East Africa because they enjoy going on safaris. And they have beautiful beaches as well, just like southern part of Africa. If you go to the northern part of Africa, where you have Morocco, you have Egypt and all these guys up there, they also have a lot of Arabian culture with a lot of rich history that you can find in northern Africa as well. So Africa has different things for everybody depending on what you want to experience. So we have people come to Egypt, we have people come to Ghana, to Togo, to Benin, to South Africa. We have people come to Senegal. We have people come to Morocco. We have some people come to Nigeria. We have some people come, a whole bunch of different places that we've taken travelers to. So depending on what somebody's preference is, we're here to make sure that people get to fulfill their desires of what they want to accomplish when they come to the African continent. Because here's the thing, everywhere is not for everybody. Depending on what you enjoy the most will determine where you want to go. So when you reach out, we can advise that, hey, based on what you're looking for, I think you should go to Tanzania because you can enjoy the beach very well in Zanzibar. So we give you that advice. You want a safari? Hey, I say come to Kenya. You will love it. And so we have travelers who have gone round, and it's a beautiful experience all around across the continent. Yes.
Absolutely. So when I decided to come, and it was for my birthday, but there's no way I was going to step foot out to do a mission trip. So I reached back out to them and I was like, hey, I do a lot of great things in the state, on a local, state, and national level. I want to be able to give back, like maybe some hygiene, or what do you think? And he like shot into action, right? He was like, guess what? We do it all the time with other individual groups who want to come up. We'll have the places for you. And the place that we went, it was like a village and it was like a school. Absolutely fell in love with those individuals there, in the family, in the resort. So if someone wants to come over, and even though they want to see Africa, they want to experience it, they also want to give back or do some type of mission work, how do you incorporate that into their trip?
Yes, that's a very powerful part of every experience, for those who decide to have a social impact. Now, what we do is we partner with an NGO, okay, that is already doing these things, having these experiences. So we partner with them, and then we come up with a beautiful social impact experience. So depending on, how far, how long you're staying and all of that determines where we take you to. But we've taken people all across Ghana, to have various experiences when it comes to social impact. So that's a good part that, and it teaches you a lot of things. Of course, that aspect shows you another side of Africa, of course, you know, where you have the opportunity to lend a helping hand to somebody else, because again, people need help everywhere you find yourself in the world, and Ghana has that as well, and Africa, should say, has that as well. That piece is there as well. So it's always good for you to be able to reach out when you visit a motherland. It teaches you a lot of gratitude, because you come to find out that, whoa, some of the things that I take for granted where I am, it's actually very needed somewhere else. So you begin to appreciate and look at life differently, and that's some of the ways that visiting the continent sometimes change your perspective about things, because there are a lot of things we do in America that I say maybe is a waste. We waste a lot of, we're wasteful here in America, but when you visit Africa, you realize that there are paths that needs, all those things that we're taking for granted. So it teaches you a lot of things. So that's very possible for people to incorporate the social impact piece all the time in their experiences. If it's a private one, our group experiences, we try to infuse that as well, so they can get to experience that amidst all the fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know you have a couple of pictures or videos. If you would like, we can take that moment and kind of share some of the things that you capture with individuals on their
Yeah.
journey.
Let me just share some few stuff over here. I'll share my screen and then I can have a few. Give me 1 second.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So are you able to see my screen now?
I am not.
You can't see my screen.
No, and can you see that it's shared, Neil?
Um, I'm sharing my screen, but I'm not sure why you can't see it yet. But give me 1 second.
Okay.
Let me
And
try it
sometimes
again.
there's a 10-second delay, but usually with us on here is good. But for the people watching, there's usually like a 10-second delay. So
Okay, let me try this again.
you can share the entire screen or window or video or
Yeah,
something.
I'm trying to share the entire screen. How about now?
Now, is it a video?
No, I'm sharing my entire screen so I can share different things. Can you see anything on my screen? Can you see a picture of yourself?
No, I just see us. I also always have it on my phone too, just to see what people are seeing in real time. So let me go back. I'm gonna go on Facebook and see what it's showing. Okay, it's showing us.
Oh, it's showing us. Give me. I'm not sure why that is the case, but
And while you're showing it, I have a clipper, so I'm just keep trying to do it. I'm gonna see if my video show and make sure it's not on our side. Water in, sir.
Right before you use it for this.
Okay, and this is the stew part, the peanut. Water in, sir. Were you able to see that video, Neil?
yeah.
Okay. All right, so try to share yours one more time.
Yeah. I tried to unlock this, but I don't know why it's.
It's technology for you too. And yours will usually come up.
How about now?
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, it keeps giving me this. Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen.
So you have to probably go to your settings and allow it.
Okay.
Yeah. Why are you going to your settings? Go Why are you going to your settings to do it? I'm going to show a video of when we went to the the welcome celebration, and they blessed us and had us do a dance and prayed over us at the Queen Mother while Neil is changing his settings. So I think Neil went out. He's going to come back in. And so I'll just talk a little bit about my experience with that. And so I didn't show the full video because I believe Neil had it. So when we came into what they consider one of the villages, there was like the queen mother, the head priest, and an elder. And so they sat in the front. There were the dancers and drummers that stood behind them. Then there were seats. And so we like proceeded to walk in. We were set in the front row in a different place. And so as we were set, they said a couple words. They did greetings. Like the people that took us on the tour, they did the formal greetings with the Queen Mother, the high priest, and the elder. And so as they did that, the high priest got up and did this ceremony, what looks like in a bowl with water with greens, right? Some of it for us was a little different because we wasn't so used to that type of presentation or praise. And so after that, they called us up one by one. I went with two of my cousins, Lanika and Lenore, and their mother and daughter. So they called us up one by one. And the queen, first they like prayed over us and we washed inside of the water that had been blessed by the high priest. And then we went to the Queen Mother, who then presented us with the gifts and things of that nature. And we got beautiful necklaces and bracelets. Each one of us got something different because you are individual. Don't ask me how they knew what to present us with or what to give us, but that's what we had. In the gift, I still have it. I'm going to use mine as a family heirloom to pass down to my children, and hopefully they'll pass it down to their children and grandchildren. I have been looking for something to pass down as an heirloom for years, and this just happened to happen and was such a blessing. And then after that, we were blessed. We were given the gift. We sat back down, and they did this ritual dance. Okay, and now Neil is back in. They did this ritual
Okay.
dance. You're back
I
in.
don't know why.
All right. And I was just telling them about the celebration. And when we came and they presented us with the bracelets and they did the dance at the Queen Village. But now I give
Okay.
it back to you. I was just trying to make sure we didn't have dead space. Okay. And just let me know where to go. And so as they continue to come back up with the dance, and they greeted us one by one, and we went up. And the video you saw was of me dancing with one of the dancers who came to get me, and us going to loving on each other, unity and things of that nature. As you know, dance is not just dance, it's a form of celebration and different things up there. Okay. Is it good now, Neil? Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay. So you're on here twice. Do you want me to add the other screen as well too?
No, don't. You can
Okay.
take that off.
No, I'll just leave it dormant. Let me see. Okay, it's a good one.
I'm trying to see the best way to share my screen.
Yeah, after you do the status, it should let you share.
Okay, is my screen showing now?
Okay. So I feel like I think let me try to add the other one in
Oh
here.
yeah, I think it's showing
Now
my
it's
screen.
showing. Yep, I had to add the other one. Now it's showing.
All right, so I'll just, what can you see? So I'm sure
I see the
you can.
pictures of us. Yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
I'm going to run through some of these pictures. This is just a sneak peek of what an experience could look like. And of course, you're here. This is a Ghana experience, and this happens in all the African countries when you visit. There's a whole round. We try to give you when you come to Africa in within that short time, sometimes 7 days, 8 days, sometimes 10 days. We try to give you a bit of every aspect of the continent. So that's where the social impact aspect comes in. Then you have the city aspect. All of those cultural pieces also come into play. So we try to give you that full experience. And again, it also shows you that, of course, Africa is a beautiful place. Not all that the media shows, is accurate when it comes to like hungry kids and all lions on the streets. No, that doesn't happen. What have been eaten up if that was the case. Okay. So this is a beautiful welcome dinner that I believe you had, whilst you were in Ghana, with our team. And we have an amazing team as well that people get to experience, when they visit the continent. And our team in all these countries are actual Africans living in Africa. So you get a chance to have that kind of encounter and direct engagement with local Africans. That enriches your experience in that respect. So here, uh, this is a great experience. Look at you. So in
Yeah,
Africa, this is part of the cultural experience. One of the things you find when you come to Africa, a lot of people are able to carry things on their head very beautifully, and it is a great experience that people live to remember. Look at that. Look at the smile on the face. Here's the thing: when you come to Africa, there's a genuine joy that comes to your heart that I feel like you don't find it in a lot of places other than in Africa. So you can see that, and this is a beautiful cultural experience. One of the experiences that we give to people is to welcome them to the motherland with a traditional welcome ceremony. Okay, we do that in all these countries in a different way, depending on the country and what kind of experience or ceremony that we do in that particular country. So that's a queen mother out here putting a bead on your neck, I believe, during your time in Ghana. And that is to welcome you back to the motherland. And then we give you an African name as well. So when you leave, you don't just leave, but then we leave, you're like you're reborn, basically. Because in Africa, everybody who is born receives an African name. So my
yeah,
name is Nyama. That's the name that I was given. Ni means king. And then Ama is a second male child in the family, in the nuclear family. So that's how the different ways we name people. And then we also name people by their day names. So I'm
yeah.
Kojo as well because I was born on a
Sophia.
Monday. So born on a Monday, they name you Kojo. So those are some of the cultural
Yeah.
experiences
I
that
was born
people
on a
get.
Friday, so it was a Fia, right?
A fear,
Yep.
exactly, a fear. So everybody eventually gets an African name. So these are chief priests. These are traditional because in Africa we have custodians of the land who are in touch with the ancestors and all of that. So they know how to communicate with the ancestors and thank them for bringing you back to the motherland. So that's what you're seeing here in this beautiful experience. And then, hey, we love music in Africa. We love culture, beautiful culture, music all across Africa, depending on where you go to, which part of Africa, and the type of cultural experience that you have. But this is Ghana for you, and it's a beautiful experience. I'm seeing your dance moves right here. So it is a fun
Yeah.
time to be. I'll run through, and then we try sometimes to have some cooking. In your case, we had a cooking session, where you get to learn how to prepare some of the African dishes. I'm sure you've shown pictures of that. And then here you made a good donation. So here's some of the pieces where you can actually do donations. You can do donations when you arrive in the motherland in that respect. Yeah. So just run through so I can speak. And then, hey, Africa has a lot of variety when it comes to food. So I'm touching a lot of different cultural aspects. When it comes to food, we have diverse foods that you can think of, and they're amazing. They're nice. I can tell you. This is peanut butter soup, and I believe rice
Yes.
balls. You know, There's an amazing food, and we have different ones. We have the jollof rice. For those who have heard of the jollof war, between which
That's my
country in
favorite,
Africa
the jollof
has the
rice.
best has the best jollof. Yes, I mean, what would you say? Have you tried any other jollof apart from Ghana?
No.
You
And
tried
you know what? I
Nigerian
might have when
jollof?
I was younger, because my friend mom is married to somebody from Africa. But the jollof rice I had there was by far, I love it.
Ghana jollof is the best. The Nigerians try to challenge us, but I can tell you,
I
Ghana
heard
one
about the
is
challenge.
always the best. So let me just point this out. So now these are young men from Brooklyn that were in
Yes,
Ghana at the same time you were in Ghana, okay? And they came a group of them to have an amazing experience. And look at the beautiful outfits. Africa, we love
yes.
we love fashion as well. So these are beautiful outfits that were tailor made for them whilst they were in Ghana. So just wanted and here I believe they were having an engagement with you or while you were there. So yes.
Yeah, that was Lanika's birthday. So the Queen Mother and them did mine, and then the people from Brooklyn, they did the happy birthday thing for Lanika.
So this is a Black Star Square. Some of the tourist places that you get to see, some of the historic places. This is where Ghana was declared independent and one of the first in Africa from the British, colonialists. So this is a very significant place to be. And every 6th March in Ghana, we gather here to celebrate our independence from the British in that respect. So hey, you get to have fun. You get to go to the beach and have a good time in that respect. And this is a museum, one of the historic places that are in Ghana as well. And again, you find a lot of historic places across the African continent. And here is a gentleman who has have crafts that he's molded to represent all the
Yeah,
torture and the things that Black people have been through in Africa before being taken outside of the African continent. Being in shackles and chains and all of that, and how far we have come in that respect. So you get to experience that whilst you're in Ghana. It is a very amazing piece of art that you find across that place. So yeah, so those are some of them. These are resorts that I believe you went to have an amazing time at Scotia Aqua Safari Resort. So you can do a boat ride. If you love boats, you can do a boat ride. You could be on the ocean. You could be on the Volta River. So there are a lot of different things that you can actually do when you come to Africa. Anything you can enjoy in America, I tell people you can enjoy in Africa as well.
yeah.
So these are just some snippets from your experience. Let me show a quick video, and then we could, if you have any questions, you can keep asking me, and then we can move forward. Just a quick video of what our experience could look like. So I'm playing this video right Okay, so that's just a piece of how some of these experiences actually go. Now, do you have any follow-up question you want to
Absolutely. So you showed that piece where the people that was walking up the stairs when they had on white, that was going back to the slave castles and then the door no return, right? And
Yes.
so I have told some people about it, right? Like everybody has been asking about my experience, what's going on. And even though the cemetery that had the replicas of their head absolutely stick inside of my brain, but when you go to the slave castles, like you literally, to me, I smell my ancestors there. You know what I'm saying? And the door no return in the last bath. So being somebody that's from there, but having other people from America come over, I know it's still a lot for you, but how do you encompass that in, while making sure they understand what's coming, because they gave us history lesson in which we consider the real history of what happened versus some of the things that we were taught.
Yes. There's a saying that if you don't know where you're coming from, I mean, it's hard to know where you're going. That's a very powerful saying. Now, I believe when you make your way back to the mother, everybody living in outside of the African continent as a black person, I believe somewhere, somehow have an ancestor that is tied back to the African continent. So at the end of the day, it all started from the African continent, and it is real when it started, where it started from, I should say. Okay, especially for black people in America, we cannot, deny that our roots come from some parts of Africa. So in Ghana, for instance, before you the slave trade, I should say, the people come through, you know the slave dungeons, or the slave castles, as they call it. And this was a passage point, and they bring people from all across, the coast and the west of Africa, from the east, and then bring them through Ghana, which is a central point. And that's why Ghana is a very key place when it comes to touching base with your roots, because it takes you right to where it all started, and the whole structures are all there present for you to see and feel. And that is a very powerful connection to the ancestors. And it reignites something in you, because again, when you go through the door of no return, it tells you that ancestors left, and they hope that they never return, or their generations never return. But this is evidence that you're actually coming back. So we like to perform some type of ceremony sometimes during these experiences, for people to just have that deep connection that, okay, they thought we're not coming back, but we made it. And that also tells you, when you visit the slave dungeons, the resilience of black people, especially in America. Because for anybody to go through those harsh realities in those castles, before you even get to America and deal with all those other things that you deal with in America, look at the condition that people have to live through. So again, I'm not surprised that, of course, our ancestors who made it to America and the Caribbean and all of that were so resilient, were able to stand the test of time to today. Because to be able to go through that type of treatment on the continent in those dungeons and make it through successfully, and be still standing, you are strong. You are coming from some strong descendants. And that is one of the things that shifts in your mind. Even for me as a Ghanaian living in Ghana, when I visit these places, it teaches me something, that I'm coming from a group of people that are very solid and resilient. So I cannot give up. It's not an option. I have to keep pushing. So that's a powerful experience that you can have across Africa, not just Ghana, East Africa, even the South.
Wow. Okay. And I know because he has so much going on today, I just want to kind of get down to it. And as we begin to turn off, but you talked about, why did you want to give people the experience? So, what has been your experience so far? And how long have you been doing Certified Africa tours?
So we've been doing Certified Africa since 2018. Okay, we took our first big group in 2019. We had a group of 50 people, close to 60, and then we also had another group same year in the same month for about 17 people. And then from there, it's been growing since then. During the pandemic, we had a few boat people who still made it down to the motherland, and now it's picked back up. So we've been doing this since 2018. So it's been a while since we've been doing this, and we're very passionate about it. Like I said, my wife is African American, and I'm, African who lived on the African continent. So coming together, that's a powerful union to be able to reconnect the diaspora back to the motherland. So that's very powerful, and it's personal to us. There's a personal experience that we are having. So I feel very strong about it, and is willing to do anything possible to give the best experience as much as possible to our brothers and sisters from the diaspora. If I answered your question.
Absolutely, yes. And so, for someone who has been wanting to visit Africa, who may have more questions, want to get in touch with you, how are they able to reach you or contact you?
Yeah, so they can check out our website at www.certifiedafrica.com, or they can check us on Instagram. We post a lot of videos, about experiences in Africa at Certified Africa. YouTube also, we have videos there that we always put at Certified Africa. Facebook, we are Certified Africa. So Certified Africa literally everywhere. So you can reach us, you can send us an email, certifiedafrica@gmail.com. You can send us an email over there and we'll give a feedback. The way the process works is we're trying to simplify the travel process to Africa, because here's the thing, Sakwana, people can easily travel to Jamaica and come back. But when it comes to Africa, even Europe, when it comes to Africa, they look at it as a cumbersome thing to do. And people put it on their bucket list, supposedly, that sometimes never happens. So we're trying to make it very simple for you to be able to pick your passport, have everything planned for you. All you have to do to show up and have a great experience, basically. So we, from the time that you reach out to us, we're going to help you and speak to you, see how we could best help you to get you set up before your travel experience. And of course, when you arrive in Ghana, we're also there to give you the ground support to take you through your
Absolutely.
experience. And you can bear witness, our team stays with you throughout your experience.
Absolutely.
You don't have any, unless you tell us, hey, you want to be free on this day or you want to be on your own, then that's fine. You can do that. But our team is always present at your disposal for whatever you need to make sure you have a great experience. And before your travel too, we're also here to make sure we guide you through all the processes. So it's very easy and it's not too frustrating for you to be able to make it to the motherland. So that's how basically the process works. And then now we have a partnership with United Airlines. So for people who are traveling to some countries like Egypt, like Ghana, South Africa, and all of that, we're able to help you with flights through, our portal. And of course, you went through United as well, I
Yes.
remember. So that's something that people can now take advantage. So you have all in one support to be able to make it to the motherland. And we recommend other options as well. If you cannot do United that we partner with, we recommend other airlines and we help you through this process to make it very seamless and easy. So hey, everybody is welcome to the motherland and we'll give you a great experience.
Absolutely, and I can attest to from start to finish. That he walks you through what do you need, the host, and because you even if you have a passport, you need a visa, right, to visit
Yeah.
Ghana, and how that process does. So there's step by step making sure that you have everything you need, whether it's medical shots, just to make sure that you have the best representation of yourself and you have everything in order. Certified Africa does walk you through that. They pick you up from the airport and they're there like the 24/7, like he said. Someone's there with you at the hotel. The team is there taking you to different places that you have to have. And some people may feel like there's a language barrier. There is not. They speak English, but also his team is there and they're from Ghana, so they ensure that the communication is on a great level, right? As well as going different places. So I definitely can attest to that, that someone's with you each and every time, even on your free days. Like if you wanted to go shopping or you wanted to do another activity, if you tell him in advance, or if they can do it within the team, they will. Because I wanted to do like a safari thing, but I was in a different part. But they did take us on the boat cruise. I don't know if they told you, to this place off of this island that I actually got to see alligators and monkeys and stuff like that and snakes, Neil. So that was pretty dope.
Yeah. So let me also mention before I let you go that one of the things that we also do is business. We believe that Africa has a lot of business
Yes.
opportunities
Yes.
that people can explore. So we try to show you business opportunities whilst you're there through conversations and all of that. Sometimes we set up some meetings for people as well who want to really look into the business space as well. So you can get to experience that piece as well whilst you're in Ghana. So yeah, just wanted to point that out.
No, I think that's a great thing. And I don't, Neil didn't know for sure, but I have been working on like a sister city with Ghana. So it just happened to align that when we came back and told them what we wanted to do, I went to Ghana. And so this is on my other life, y'all. But we had just signed, Neil, I sent you the picture. Congress has just signed the Congressional Ghanaian Caucus, which that means is there is a partnership and collaboration with our federal government, President Biden in Ghana, as well as we're doing some stuff here on the local level. So I just feel like all of this was like predestined. Even before I went to Ghana, we had already started working on some other things. So definitely there are other avenues and revenues. So if you don't just want to do a vacation, if you want to make it a business trip, make sure you reach out to Certified Africa. Neil, I'm going to let you go. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but he is a father. So if I can have hand claps, I need you guys to congratulate him and his beautiful wife. We cannot see her, but this would not have happened without her. They are a team that engrossed this company, and they are bridging and enhancing it. And they are part parents. He's in the hospital right now. His wife just had a baby, but he was so dedicated to make sure that people understood and learned about Certified Africa. He kept this appointment today, and I am so grateful. And if he would have canceled, I would not have mind. But he is in the hospital room, y'all, making sure that he talks to us. So we're gonna let you go and sign off and say truly thank you for making my life
Definitely.
great, right? I could that experience, I don't think I can get it nowhere else. And then the connected connections to Ghana. I'll leave, we'll let you say a couple words and then we'll sign off. And I'll make sure that I put the email and the website in the tag on Facebook so you guys can reach out to him.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. We appreciate everybody who, joined us today. We appreciate you. You're welcome to Africa. Africa, we love to see you. So make your way down. And if you can connect with Certified African, we're here to help you. If you don't come through Certified Africa, just still make your way to the African continent. It's a beautiful experience that can change your life for good. So thank you so much for having me, Sequana. Anytime I'm available, I'll be able to do this again.
Thank you. Y'all have a baby registry. Y'all got to send it to me. I definitely got to get you guys a gift. You guys have been
Hey,
so great.
I appreciate that. I'm like, I can't miss this for anything in the world. So I had to be here at
I
all
know,
costs.
but tell your wife thank you from the bottom of my
I'll,
heart, and I'm gonna get
I'll
that
do
baby
that.
a
Let's
gift.
do this another time. I'm willing
Yes,
to jump from a very comfortable position, I guess. I can show more videos and more pictures in that respect.
absolutely.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Okay.